one of the greatest Springbok performances of all time. Hands down. Wow, I did not think we could get a more physical, more high intensity, more demanding game than last week's game. And we got that in this one. The best Springbok performance I have ever witnessed. 100% hands down. Backs against the wall to come out and perform like that. All the changes that were made, everything that was said throughout the week. Me being one of those guys, I did not think, off the back of last week, I did not think that this Springbok team or the Springbok team that played last week could come out and play this well this week. Outstanding. 36 unanswered points in the second half. That is a Springbok performance Springbok fans can get behind. Accurate, physical, getting over that vantage line first, running direct first, nailing your set piece, chancing your arm, using the exciting back-sighting players out wide, converting opportunities into points as well. An all-round outstanding performance. 43-10? Springbok fans, All Black fans, who thought after last week's performance, the Springboks could come out and do this, what they did now in Wellington? Unreal, outstanding, well done to all Springbok players, the coaching staff. Now, I know they don't look at social media and all of that kind of stuff, but there was a lot of talk around the Springboks. Can they still deliver? Are they too old? No. Is Rassie the coach? Is the questions? Like, I was one of those guys. Because I also think a lot of people were asking those questions because of how poor that performance was last week. And then for them to come out, make all those changes and perform like this week, unreal. I'm gobsmacked. I'm speechless almost. That was one of the best performances a Springbok team has ever delivered that I've personally watched. Unreal. Before we get into it, this is just the start. Hit that subscribe. Join in on the conversation. Let me know in the comments what you guys thought of the game. Who played well? Who didn't? What did you like about the Springboks? What didn't you like about the All Blacks? Because it's now flipped. It's now, last week it was the Springboks that played poorly. This week it's the All Blacks. All Blacks fans, what did you like? What didn't you like? Springbok fans, what did you like and what didn't you like? We'll get into it. We'll start with the All Blacks, the home team first. So, frantic start. They defended really well to start because it was all Springboks at that start. And when the Springboks then lost that first, or had their first opportunity to score points, they didn't score it. I thought this is going to be the same as last week. All Blacks are going to be clinical when they get opportunities and Springboks are going to struggle when they get opportunities. But how wrong was I? Gotta admit, the physicality and just the brutalness, is that a word? The brutality, there you go, English. The brutality of this game, that many injuries, no Hotham went off. Then for the Springboks, there was Louis de Jager went off. I've got them written down here. So Louis de Jager went off. Sasha Feinberg-Mzulu went off. Reinach got injured. He came back on. Fassi went off as well. A ton of disruptions. Both teams, more disruptions probably for the Springboks, to be honest. And then how the All Blacks were then defending. They got Jordie Barrett with a huge play to tackle Colby over the line. He coughed the ball up there. And then again, as a Springbok fan, I'm watching this like, again, we're creating opportunities, not turning that into points. The one time All Blacks get an opportunity, Leroy Carter goes and scores. The build up to that as well. Outstanding. The cross kick, I think it was Jordie Barrett, cross kicked over to the one edge. They were really patient there. They brought the ball back. Ethan de Groot, lovely hands out the back. Gets it. They shifted. Guys running from depth. Players drawn pass. And Leroy Carter, boomfa, on debut, scores in the corner. And this is when I'm like, oh no, please not a repeat of last week. But how wrong was I? All Blacks come out in that second half and just shell-shocked. Absolutely shell-shocked. 36 unanswered points. That is wild. I wrote here they were watching play. A lot of the times, All Blacks players, it just looked like they were just watching play, more happy for the Springboks to have the ball and then just, we're going to scramble and try and make tackles, slip tackles here, or when we do have the ball, either kick it back to you or not be clinical with ball in hand, option taking not the best. Being demolished at set piece time, so scrums and lineouts. All Blacks really struggled. We kind of knew they were going to struggle at scrum time. I thought maybe with the different substitutes they made in the front row to start the game that would help them a bit. Definitely didn't. Lineouts were their strong point last week and leading up into all of the games, but this week struggled massively at lineout time. Missed opportunity as well. There was one at the 58th minute mark, line out. There was an obstruction call on that. Just not a total different All Black performance from the Eden Park test. And same can be said for the Springboks. Not much to be said for the All Blacks in that second half. Outplayed, dominated, underperformed for me. The All Blacks were underperformed for sure. A record score from the Springboks. I'm speechless. I'm speechless. On to the Springbok performance. To think they went from midfield lineouts last week to midfield scrums this week. Sia busting through the middle. Andre Esterhuizen triple skip pass. Colby scores in the corner. And the Springboks are on. This is a performance Springbok fans can get behind. Accurate, dominant, physical, set piece, outstanding, option taking, outstanding, direct running, physical in contact, getting over the advantage line, chancing your arm, using the exciting players you do have within the squad. And just nailing what they wanted to do. Outstanding. Man of the match for me, Damian Willemse, was unreal. We'll get onto him when we get there. But that was a 10 out of 10 performance from the Springboks. And to think that this was, in everyone's eyes, a selection around the vision of moving forward because of a younger selection. Damian Willemse at 12, Kanan Moody, centre, Ethan Hooker on the wing. Guys like that, Sasha Feinberg starting at 10, although he didn't play much, Manie Lebok came on and played really well. For them to go out and perform like that, a record-breaking score for the Springboks over the All Blacks. I don't know if I've said that already, but outstanding. So it started off really well for the Springboks. Although they didn't convert the opportunities into points, the ball's out behind, forwards are running with the ball to the line and then playing out the back. Sasha Feinberg had options short and options out the back. They were using their plays really well, their runners really well. Although they got picked off a couple times at being isolated at rucks, Ardie Savea got one or two questionable turnovers and one or two really good turnovers. They were playing really well and they just weren't converting those opportunities into points. 3 entries into the 22 early on and came away with nothing. It did take a mammoth try-saving tackle from Geordie Barrett to stop Colby's first try. Then you look at all the disruptions as well. Louis Diache coming off early, Sasha Feinberg coming off early, Reinach coming off and then coming back on, Apelele Fassi going off. The changes that had to be made. Ange Snyman came on early for Louis Diache. He was outstanding. Bossed the lineouts, physical, strong with ball in hand, carries, the offload, strong tackles, really good at lineout time. Then Sasha Feinberg come off. Manie Lebok came on. This is almost a resurrection of a game for Manie Lebok. Great off the tee, option taking elite. I almost thought when he came on that early, I was like, oh man, the game was still in the balance massively. And I was like, I don't know how this is going to go, but stood up. Apelele Fassi went off, so Andre Esterhuizen came on into the center. Willemse went to fullback. And everything, it just worked. It worked. These guys stood up. They put both their hands up and they said, last week means nothing. We're here now. And this is what it is. You're only as good as your last game. Wow. I hope I'm not pushing it too far forward but man, you've got to. You take your licks when you lose last week and you pump your wheels up when you win. And this was a win. All Blacks fans, I think you can agree, this is a massive win for the Springboks. Oh, let me just take a breath there for a second. I thought at times Reinach struggled a bit at the rucks. There was a few, I think 3 knock-ons at the rucks, but did make up for it with his box kicks. I thought him and Ethan Hooker, that combination of pinpoint box kicks and then Ethan Hooker running through and collecting the ball, that's like bacon and eggs. That's like salt and pepper. That's like brandy and Coke, that combination. Lovely, lovely to see. And then I think the game needed it. Colby's intercept, the game needed it there. All Blacks had all of the momentum. It wasn't right before halftime, but before halftime, Colby reads that interception. The lovely fake to go make the tackle and then bounce out to take the intercept. That's a little bit of touchy skills. That's touchy skills. Probably 7 skills there as well. And he read that really well. Did like how they were going about playing the Bokke, getting through contact and then throwing the little offloads, or when they're going to deck, playing the pop passes. The team that was named, this was the style of rugby we wanted to see, and they nailed it. They nailed it. Let me talk on Damian Willemse for a second. Outstanding. The best game he has ever had for the Springboks. And he's played in Rugby World Cup finals. This was outstanding. To play at 12 as well, yes, he's played at 12 before, but kind of out of position. He's carrying the ball to the line, always getting over that advantage line, the little steps, the reading of plays, his awareness of where the ball's going to be and him just popping up and being there. He's getting through tackles and getting offloads. His kicking game was unreal. His aerial game was unreal. Then tops it all off with a beautiful try as well at a pivotal moment of the game. He was huge. He was my man of the match for sure. He was 1 try, 14 carries, 115 run meters, 6 defenders beaten. Gaza, Damian Willemse, hats off, young fella. That was a game for the ages and a game that will be remembered, a performance that will be remembered. Go into the halftime, 10-7 behind, right? And come out in that second half, 36 unanswered points. 36 unanswered points. That's taking last week's game and going, checkmate. That was Rossi for this game. I'm going to say it again, I'm speechless. That scrum, that bulldozing scrum to then Kobus Reinach went off it, then pop pass, Siya Kolisi straight up the middle, Andre Esterhuizen, triple skip pass, Colby scores his second try. Unreal. Then Ruan Norkia's reading of All Blacks line out, steals the line out 5 meters from the line, patience there, spread it out when needed. Gaza goes over to score. Ethan Hooker's sensational counter-attack just looks up, and that's what you love about these youngsters. Just back yourself. You don't think too much. Don't think. Just go. Don't think, just go. That was probably Russie's team talk at halftime. Don't think, just go. Ethan Hooker collects it at the back. Step, goes through. Calm there. Lebok with a cross kick. Peter Steph the Toy, the pop pass, and ever-present Kwagga Smith scores it in the corner. Oh man, how good was Peter Steph the Toy? I think he's still out there tackling. He would have made 1,000 tackles. He was everywhere on the field. One of Springbok's best for sure. And then Grant Williams still to turn around and go catch Will Jordan and make a try-saving tackle at the end there. Fantastic. Mani Lebok, really good as well. Everyone for the Springboks, outstanding. What a change from last week. Again, I was one of those guys that doubted them from last week. I think most people doubted them from last week. Rassie comes out and makes a ton of changes. Different style of how they want to play. Yes, there was still a lot of kicking, but more playing with the ball, chancing their arm. And it worked. 43-10. I'll say, one of the greatest Springbok performances of all time. Hands down. What did you guys think of it? All Blacks fans, what questions are you asking? What do you guys think? Back to the drawing board. What next? What changes would you like to see? Springbok fans, holy. Parai, brandies, and more. Enjoy. What a win. Hit that subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.